Travis, today we're going to talk about Black Friday and how much money people spent, what the numbers are saying about the consumer, and what it might mean for the holidays, and then leading into 2026.
Well, so let's just start with the headline that everyone saw. Black Friday spending was strong again this year, and consumers showed up both online and in the physical stores. Although if you went through my neighborhood, you definitely would have saw online.
Online.
Yeah. So, and the total spending this year, hit another record. So, people are out there.
That's good, yeah. And what stood out to me was online spending continues to grow, but especially where it's the buy now, pay later options, which we know how that can get people in trouble. So that buy now, pay later category jumped again, which is great for retailers, but sometimes consumers really need to be careful and watch out how they're spending their money.
If you're buy now, pay later for a sandwich, you might want to reevaluate what's going on.
Oh,
right?
It's like getting that check but spending it before you get it.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of that. Yeah. So when you look at it, people that are stretching payments into 2026 for holiday shopping, it tells you, hey, there might be a bit more financial pressure, underneath the surface than it seems. And at the same time, though, that willingness to spend still shows that consumers are pretty confident in their situation. Anytime you're buy now, pay later or credit, you're borrowing from the future, right? But they're pretty confident at this point.
They're going to be able to pay
they're going to be able to pay
bills.
it off.
Yeah. The numbers paint an interesting picture. On one hand, people are clearly responding to deals and are willing to spend when they see value. On the other hand, they're being more deliberate. They're comparing prices, waiting for the discounts, and turning to these financial tools, the buy now, pay laters.
Well, if they're comparing prices, Steve, and you compare that to the buy now, pay later, or pair it with the buy now, pay later, maybe the consumer isn't weak. Maybe they're just being strategic, at this point. They still want that holiday experience, but they're navigating those higher prices along with student loan payments kicking back in and just the rising cost of everyday living. Inflation isn't dead. So.
Yeah, and it's reflected in the data that there's solid spending, but a shift towards the promotions, loyalty programs, and then those payment options that people will hopefully they're right, and they're going to be able to continue to make those payments.
The amount of loyalty programs out there, there's one for every app on your phone, I swear. You're earning points everywhere, but none of them can get you anything.
I bet 100 apps on my phone. I probably use 10 of them.
Yeah. So what does that mean, when you think about it for the broader economy? Black Friday, we look at consumer spending, and it serves as a signal for the holiday season. Strong turnout, encouraging. We like to see that. It suggests that the consumer's holding up pretty well, and since the consumer spending drives about 2/3 of our economy, 2/3 of our GDP. It's pretty important. That's why we pay so much attention to it.
It's really important, exactly. And if the momentum continues, it supports the idea that we might see steady economic growth into 2026, but we're also watching the quality of that spending because of that buy now, pay later. If more of it is financed, that could create that drag into 2026, and we'll find out sometime around April.
Yeah, again, credit, buy now, pay later, whatever credit, you're borrowing from the future.
You are.
Yeah, so big picture here, though, right now, what we're seeing, it's consumers resilient, not invincible, especially if you're using buy now, pay later.
Yep.
So we'll be watching whether this holiday strength carries into January, which traditionally will tell us how much of the spending was fueled by genuine confidence versus just short-term credit and trying to get through the holiday season.
Yeah, Travis, and to our listeners, a couple things that they need to keep in mind. First, retailers are offering longer promotional windows every single year. December is no longer too late for the deals. Avoid the pressure of overspending early. You do not need to. These retailers are offering deals late into December.
I'm pretty sure I got a Black Friday email in June this year. They're coming out with more and more. The marketers are great. The saying, Cyber Monday, Black Friday, whatever. Prime Day.
Yeah.
You got Prime Day out there. So yeah. So also if you're using this buy now, pay later or credit cards, keep an eye on how much future income you're committing here. Absolutely. Because The small payments on all these little purchases you're making, they're going to add up quickly, particularly after the holidays. So that at the end of it, all those payments might create a big lump out of your monthly income that might surprise you.
I agree. And overall, Travis, so the takeaway is positive, right? The consumers, they're active. Retailers performed well. And the economy is still showing signs of it's pretty stable at this point.
Yeah, things are pretty stable. The backdrop's still looking okay, but we know we have to keep an eye on things. Again, that stable, not invincible, right?
No, you're right. Yeah. No, Travis, has been great. I look forward to it next week.
Forward to it as well.